Hey, gentlemen, what's going on? We're live, baby. Today is Monday, February 3rd, 2025. The time is 10:10 a.m. And today we're going to be talking about how I deal with rejection. So yesterday I got a message from one of the guys in the school community. It was a great message. He was vulnerable in the message. He was basically saying, well, he was asking how I deal with rejection, but he prefaced it with, he's going in for all these approaches, he's trying his best. And, the days, he had a day in particular where he got rejected by every single girl, which, just so you know, has happened to me plenty of times. And hey, what's going on, Mitchy? What up, Jay? Yeah, guys in the chat already. What's up? And so his question was, how do you, Ephraim, right? How do you deal with rejection? How do you continue approaching the girl when you have days like this where it seems like no girl wants you? You go up to all of these girls and none of them give you a favorable reaction. And I thought it was a great question. I gave him a pretty long answer, and I figured this would be decent to share on the channel as well. I've gone over this in plenty of live streams. I've made videos on it as well, but I think it's always nice to have a refresher, and I'm sure my mindset changes as I go anyways. So I'll give a two-part answer here. The first is going to be the more maternal leaning answer, and the second will be like the fatherly answer. Yeah. I like giving answers like these because this is how Christian coached me back in Warsaw. Firstly, if you don't know who I am, my name is Ephraim. I created this channel because just 2 years ago, my dating life sucked. For the first 23 years of my life, I guess we'll say 22 years of my life, I struggled to find love. I was struggling to find girls that liked me back. I had crushes on plenty of them growing up in school and through middle school, high school, but it was never reciprocated. Yeah, it seemed like all of my friends, I was a part of the cool jock group growing up. We played football and part of the group with the basketball players and the swimmers and stuff, right? All the athletes. And it seemed like they had no trouble getting girlfriends. And it was always a sticking point for me, and it sucked because I was ridiculed for it. I was known as the guy in the group who could not get a girl. Yeah, and it kind of sucked to have that as my identity growing up. And so I made a radical change. When I was 23, I reached out to somebody named Christian Casanova, since become one of my best friends, leader of the Entourage. And yeah, I'm a part of that group as well. We've got a big group of guys, but basically I paid him to teach me how to do what he does, which is daytime cold approach. So now I'm able to walk over to girls in public pretty much whenever I want. It doesn't matter if I've showered, if I've brushed my teeth, if I've shaved my beard. Really doesn't matter. I'm confident enough to just walk over in a lot of different circumstances. People on the sidewalk, grocery store, just a bunch of people around listening to me. That was one of the biggest fears, right? Was being judged, being perceived by other people while I was going over to declare my desire to the girl that I liked. And yeah, I was able to overcome that with Christian. And now 2 years later, I mean, just a month after working with Christian, my dating life took a complete 180. I went from the guy who got no girls to all of a sudden the guy who got all the girls. And now 2 years later, as you see, I've got a whole channel full of experience and evidence to show you boys just how radically my dating life has changed. Yeah, it's like now, I would never do this, but if you were to compare me now to the guys who used to ridicule me in high school, it's like I'm running laps around those guys. Guaranteed. Yeah, guaranteed I'm running laps around them. But I'm not here to compare me to my former self or my former colleagues back in school. This was all personal growth because I had that burning desire within me to make a change in my dating life, and it just sucked. It just sucked being in the world and seeing guys that seem to have girls effortlessly and not really knowing how they made that happen. And now I've gained a lot of experience in this area, and so that's why I try to share what I can on the channel. So, what up, Mo? Hey, good. He says just the video I needed today. Sick. I'm glad. I hope you enjoy. So so what I was saying though was Christian, when he was coaching me, he would always balance between the father type of energy, which is like, all right, come on, get off your ass, stop being a bitch, going for the approach, come on, don't stop crying, what are you crying about, let's go. Thankfully I wasn't actually physically crying, but like, stop complaining, right? And he would always balance that with a more maternal kind of coaching energy, which is like, I understand what you're going through. I've been here before as well. I know what this feels like. Tell me what you're experiencing right now. Let's try to talk through it." That kind of energy. So we'll start with the motherly energy. All right. I'll take a sip and then we'll get into it. So, how do I deal with rejection? So, so to start off, when I have those days, and I have plenty of them, where I'll walk up to, let's say, three, four, maybe more girls in the day. Yeah, I'll be out and about running my errands. Sometimes I'll be with a friend. This isn't hasn't happened recently, but sometimes I'll be out with a friend, walking to the park or something. This is more last summer, and I'd go in for my approaches, and let's say back to back to back to back to back, the girl didn't even stop to talk to me. Right? She very quickly, "Oh, I'm in a rush." Maybe she didn't say anything. She looked at me and then looked away and kept walking. Maybe sped up her walk a little bit. Oh, that's the worst, right? Makes you feel like a complete creep when you walk over to the girl with only good intentions and then she starts speed walking away, right? That's one of the worst. Um, or when very quickly she tells you she's not interested, or this one you definitely can't control, right? She tells you she has a boyfriend or she's married. I've had plenty of these days where every girl that I've walked up to, the reaction was unfavorable. Yeah, not just the, "Oh, I have a boyfriend," but it's like they seemed almost upset that I went over to them, right? And I noticed one thing I'll say before I get into the how I deal with it is I've noticed that when the first two or three approaches go that way, where the girl kind of brushes you off, uh, it's funny because the next girls that you go up to, maybe if you had gone up to those next few girls on a different day, they would have given you a different reaction. And the reason I say that is because oftentimes we start getting in our own heads about the approach itself. Like when a girl looks at you and then just keeps walking without even listening to what you have to say. I don't know about you, but for me, immediately I just start questioning myself. Yeah, and I go like, "Oh my, what's wrong with me? Do I have something on my face? Girls don't usually react to me this way. Is there something weird about me today? Does my breath smell bad? Yada yada yada." Right? And so then I'll go in for the next approach, kind of with that baggage in the back of my head. And so I'll walk over and I'll already have in my mind, all right, the last girl rejected me. The girl before that wasn't interested, walked right past me. So this girl probably will as well. Yeah. And the problem is the next girl can feel that. Yeah. She can feel that energy oozing off of you, kind of like that unconfident energy of it's more you're slightly more needy because you're searching for a better reaction to validate you, to validate that you're a human that's worthy of talking to, right? An attractive guy, right? and and that can come off in the conversation, certainly, right? If you compare this to a day where you walk over to three girls, all three of them like you, and you get their phone number and try to set up a date with all three of them, and they're like, "Yeah, let's do it. Oh, Thursday, yeah, Friday, Saturday." And then you walk over to the fourth girl, it completely different energy, right? And this is a always a tricky topic because you you search the internet, and a lot of people are talking about energy, right? But I don't mean energy in like a spiritual, psychedelic, "Oh, I'm off some shrooms, let's talk about energy" kind of a way. Although I like shrooms and I do believe in a lot of that as well. But I don't mean it in that way. I mean it like, um, yeah, that's the most accurate word I can use, is the beliefs that you have within yourself. It does communicate through your language, through how you're speaking, through the volume in which you're speaking, through your body language, through the boldness in which you stop the girl, the boldness with which you stop the girl. All of that, it does matter. Yeah. And so on a day where you're back to back to back, the girl is not liking you, then you go up to the let's say the fourth girl, you have I mean, we try not to do this, but inevitably we have a little more like sorrow. Yeah, sorrow, sadness, what's another good word? Just like hesitation in our movements, hesitation in the approach itself, right? We walk over and we're a little quieter when we speak versus three, four girls like you in a row. You walk over to the fifth girl and you're kind of like, I already met three girls that like me today. I already got three phone numbers. Whatever. And so you walk over to the fourth girl with more of this carefree, fun, validated kind of energy. right? And that comes through in the approach. It comes through in how you stop the girl, right? Because you walk over like a bold motherfucker. You're like, oh, those three girls like me, so this fourth girl probably will too, right? You see the difference. So that's just something to note. So all right, so my maternal answer, right? How do I deal with rejection? So the first answer I gave to this guy that asked this question was, I'm not a robot. Yeah. Like, I think a lot of guys really overlook this because some guy on the internet speaking, and so you can't really. It's hard to be super personable, I guess, virtually. I'm not a robot. I'm a regular person with regular emotions, and I'm just like the next guy, I guess is what I'm saying. Every guy you pass on the street, I'm just like that guy. Yeah. As far as my emotions are up and down in the same way. When I walk over to the girl and she blows me off, I feel the same kind of like illegitimacy that you probably feel when that happens to you. I feel it the exact same way to the exact same degree. Yeah, there's nothing different about me. I'm not some hybrid mutant, yeah, half robot, half human that is able. No, I'm just a regular guy. Just recognize that. Yeah, it's through a lot of reps that I've gotten to this place that I have a whole channel catalog of videos like this. So the reason why I want to highlight this is when I have these days where the girl rejects me back to back to back over and over and over, the girl's just not interested. Just like you probably do, I just start to question myself. Yeah, I look internally and I go, there's got to be something wrong here. Yeah, it's either on my face, right? I got some food on my face or some food in my teeth or my breath smells bad. Maybe my hair is looking weird today. Or maybe I just lost the skill. Yeah, maybe I lost the sauce. Maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. Yeah, maybe I should just delete my. These are the thoughts that genuinely go through my head. Maybe I should just delete my channel. What do I have to share anyways? What do I have to share with the world anyways? Why would anyone want to listen to me? These four girls didn't like me. Why is the fifth girl gonna like me? Why should these guys listen to me? Yeah. Why should they consume my videos? Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing. Right. Clearly, I suck at this. Like these are genuinely the thoughts that go through my head as I'm skating through the streets of San Francisco, right? Off to go to the gym or off to run my errands, pick up my toilet paper from Walgreens. And I'm skating away from that approach where the girl just pretty much just blew me off entirely and was not interested at all in what I had to say or slightly ignored me. And that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm going, dude, what's wrong with me? Yeah, like what am I doing wrong here? I this is the same approach that I've used 100 million times. That's gotten me all these hundreds of dates. What am I doing wrong here? Right? Must I have lost the sauce? Do I suck now? Yeah. Did I lose it all? Do I have to rebuild it all from scratch? So so this is that maternal leaning energy that I'm or leaning answer that I'm giving you here, which is how do I deal with rejection? I deal with rejection just like the next guy. Yeah, I feel it all. Yeah, I feel it all and it sucks. I hate it. Yeah, just like everybody, people might try to tell you chase rejection, this and that. Yeah, that could be great as an exercise to get over your fear. But in reality, nobody likes walking over to the girl that you're attracted to, telling her, "Oh, I'm attracted to you," and then just getting completely blanked, completely ignored. It's not reciprocated. She says, "I'm not interested." She gives you a negative reaction. Let's say, what if she goes, yeah, okay, whatever," or "Okay," and then looks back at her phone? That sucks, right? You took the time out of your day. I mean, more specifically, you took the courage out of your body. Yeah, you gathered the courage to walk over there as confidently as you could manage, right? With all the social skills that you've been able to build up until this point, all the work that you've put into yourself up until this point, and you're gathering all of that, and you're walking over to the girl and you're showing it to her, and you're going, well, do you like me back? Like, think about it. Essentially, what we're doing here, right? We take away all the fluff, all the arrogance, all the ego. Essentially, what we're doing here is we're walking over to the girl that we like, that we potentially want to make our girlfriend, and we're going, hey, I like you. Do you like me back? That's like bare minimum. That is basically what's going on here, right? Which is why I believe so many people are so astounded that I'm able to do this consistently. Yeah. So many people are astounded that I'm able to get results in this way because they see it as such a scary act. And I agree it is. Yeah. At first, certainly it is. They see it as such a scary act. Like, whoa, you're just walking over and showing your cards, right? If you think about it, like we've been conditioned to play this whole societal game, right? Where first, let's not even talk about the apps right now. Back in school, right? You have a crush on a girl, and it's like, I remember what I used to do is this like very like almost like mean kind of teasing, right? And this the girl would, if the girl likes me back, she would also be kind of mean to me, as like this is our way of showing interest, right? Is like, my other classmates, the fat girl that sits to Susie, the fat girl in my math class that sits next to me, I'm nice as ever to her, right? I'm very nice and gentlemanly to that girl. But to the girl that I was interested in, I was a little more frosty and short. Yeah, that was like my way of communicating interest back then. And the girl usually the same way, right? She'd do these teasing jokes, or she'd put a little piece of trash on your desk and you'd flick it off or throw it back at her, right? These were our juvenile ways of flirting. And think about what's going on there, right? It's like, I'm so scared that that girl will know that I'm interested in her, and that all of my classmates will know that I'm interested in her, that I'm like actively attacking her verbally. Yeah. So like, to me, I didn't know that this is how I was showing my interest, but that's what it was, interest, right? Because to Susie, I wasn't throwing the little gum wrappers at Susie. I was nice. Oh, here's the math homework, Susie, right? Fat Susie. But the girl that was hot, that was sitting next to me, that I liked, I didn't know how to share with her that I was interested in her. So that was the funny juvenile ways of flirting that we had back then, right? And when you think about it, all that is a mask. We're wrapping our interest in a mask, and we're trying to hide it so as to not feel that pain when we get rejected, when it's not reciprocated, right? Because if I just told the hot girl that sat in front of me in math class back then, hey, you're hot, I like you, want to go on a date? If she said no, that would suck in the moment. That would suck because all the classmates would have heard it. That would suck because she sits next to me every day in math class, and now I got to see her every day, and that's going to be awkward, right? Now word's going to spread around the school. Oh, did you? He tried to ask so and so to the school dance, and she totally rejected him. This and that. Wow, that's so funny, Ephraim. Wow, you're such a loser. Wow, you get no girls, right? My friend group would have ridiculed me. This happened plenty, right? I was so scared back then. I was just showing interest over Snapchat, right? Even over Snapchat, I couldn't muster up the courage to ever tell the girl I liked her. It was always just like I would reply to her super quick. Yeah. So she knew I liked her because of what I was not saying. Yeah. It was how I was behaving. I didn't, so we're kind of tangenting here, but we're just going to go with the flow here. You don't have to, in a lot of cases, you don't even have to tell the girl that you're interested. She can tell. She can pick up on the fact that you're interested because you keep looking at her, right? You think about your coworker or somebody that let's say you're on a BART train or some public transit, some bus, right? If you just kind of monitor, right? If you observe behavior in the bus, let's say there's a very hot girl on that bus, observe behavior of the guys that are on that bus. And what you'll notice is the guys will like steal looks at the hot girl very quickly, right? They'll be looking at the hot girl for 5-10 seconds. And then if she like adjusts herself or like looks in another direction, they'll look away really quick. They'll look back at their phone, right? And then when they think she's not looking, they'll like look at her again. Yeah. And people might say weird, people might say creepy. This is just natural. Yeah, to me, this is just a guy that is interested in the girl. And of course, he's not going to walk over to her in the bus stop like Ephraim is. So all he can manage is to look at her. And if she makes eye contact with him, then look away quickly because he goes, oh my God, she made eye contact with me. Oh my God, she knows I'm staring at her. Oh my God. Right. And he'll look away very quick. Like this happens every day. Just you can just monitor behavior very easily. Right. Nowadays, I'm working in leasing, and a lot of the times, if the girl's interested in me and I'm talking with my client, they always see that as a very convenient time to stare at me, right? So if there's a cute girl in the office, let's say, or she doesn't, just the girl that's attracted to me in the office, right? This happens plenty. And I'm speaking with her, and then I'm speaking with one of the other clients, and then I'm going over and helping this person at this table. I'll always notice that I can tell in my peripheral that the girl is looking at me, right? Because she sees this as a perfect opportunity to see me while I'm not looking at her, but I can see her in my peripheral. And then if I look over at her, she'll look away quickly, right? This is just how we communicate interest. At least this is how we've been conditioned to, because we're so scared that the other person is going to know that we're interested in them and then not reciprocate it. And that's going to be crushing to our ego, right? Crushing to our sense of self-worth. So the reason I'm going on this whole tangent is I feel rejection just as much as the next guy does. Yeah. So especially because I'm going up to women in this manner, I feel it in like an inflated way, because it's not like I'm just just stealing looks at the girl on the train, yeah, and then looking away quickly, and then that, or maybe I make eye contact with the girl, and then she looks down really quick, as if to say, "I'm not interested. Please stop looking at me." Right? Well, that might feel like a minor rejection to most people, right? Now compare that to what we are doing. Yeah, broad daylight, sun is just out and shining on illuminating everything on the earth. Yeah, and we've got the girl that we're interested in. We saw her from afar, and she's in a crowded street corner intersection, right? Sidewalk intersection. And we just passed by her, let's say, and we're thinking, right? Now heart starts to beat. Okay, here it is. There's a girl. This is what I was made for, right? This is my moment. What guy is bold enough to do this aside from me? Yeah, there's, one in maybe a couple thousand guys are bold enough to walk over to a girl in this manner. And I'm one of those guys, right? These are the thoughts. Oh, okay, here's the moment. All right, how should I do this? Okay, there's a lot of people right there. Maybe I should wait like 4 seconds until there's like fewer people. Okay, all right. Now it's like there's only 7 people around when before there were 15. Okay, there's 7 people. They're gonna hear me. It's okay. Whatever. She's cute enough. I'm gonna walk over anyways. Yeah, and you walk. You do your best. You walk over. You start the speed walk. That guy's comments on my channel saying you look like a weirdo speed walking. Stop speed walking. Okay, whatever. you start doing the speed walk, right, to catch up to her. Sometimes if she's far enough away, I do a little light jog to catch up. And then we walk around her, right? Walk around her. Excuse me. Hey, flash the smile, right? Gathering up all the courage we can manage. Flash the smile. Hey, excuse me. Hey, how's it going? Hey, I passed you back there. I just had to say you look absolutely incredible. Yeah. And then she goes, okay. And then keeps walking. Oh, gunshots, right? Stab wounds. Boom, boom, boom. It hurts. Yeah. It hurts the ego. Yeah, if we remember back to how we define the ego as the version of ourselves that we wish the world perceived us as, yeah, the version of ourselves that we wish people thought, yeah, Ephraim's the coolest, yeah, Ephraim's the strongest, Ephraim's the handsomest. Oh my God, Ephraim's the best at everything, right? We want the world to see us this way. At least our ego does. It hurts to our ego because it completely contradicts what I just said about, oh, Ephraim's the best. Ephraim gets all the girls. Oh, Ephraim, all the girls love Ephraim, this and that. That's what the ego is trying to project into the world. And then she just completely contradicted that by saying, okay, and blank faced, and then just walked away, right? Walked right around me and kept on going on with her day. That sucks. Yeah, it sucks to me. It sucks to you. Don't think that I'm a robot that doesn't feel that same kind of like tension, that kind of ickiness, right? I kind of feel icky when that happens. I look around and people are looking at me, and who knows what's going through their head, right? They could be thinking, wow, this guy sucks. Wow, this guy's a weirdo. Wow, this guy's a creep. Look, this guy should stick to Tinder. Wow, he's just walking up to girls like this. Wow, what a loser, right? Or they could be thinking, wow, that was bold. Wow, respect. Wow, that's commendable. I don't know, right? I don't know. They don't tell me. Unfortunately, they don't tell me. I mean, I guess fortunately, they don't tell me what they're thinking. So it's all up to interpretation, right? So I'm looking around, I'm seeing the people, they're looking at me, and I mean, to be fair, oftentimes if I look at them, they look away quickly anyways, because I'm the bold fucker that just did the bold act, and they're the person on the sidewalk who just watched it like a spectator, right? So they can't even hold eye contact with me for that long anyways. But it doesn't change the feeling that you get when that happens, right? That kind of like sensation of like, wow, I just put my heart on the line. Yeah, I just put my ego on the line for this girl, hoping that something would come of it, hoping that she would like me back. And she didn't, right? So we'll pause here. This is why something that Christian says is really good here. A very helpful reframe here is to, instead of going out approaching to get your date, go out to make the girls feel good. Yeah. So that takes away a lot of pressure. So you imagine if you're going over to make the girl just make her day, then it doesn't really matter if the reaction is good or bad, because you're not going out there with a certain agenda. Now, obviously, buried deep underneath the psyche is still, I hope this girl likes me. I hope this girl comes on a date with me. But at least you're kind of masking that, right? You're kind of putting a layer over that mentally and going, okay, I'm just out to make her day. That's the hot girl. I like her. You know what? I don't care what happens. Let me just try my best to make her day. Let me try my best to make her feel beautiful. Yeah. Let me just walk over and do my best and present myself in the best way possible to make her feel beautiful and seen in this world. Yeah. And so that's a nice tactic that you can try to use. But that doesn't change how it feels when she's not interested. Yeah. So I can 100% relate to this, relate to guys that, I mean, any guy that's cold approaching girls is going to feel this way. I don't care what they say. I really don't. Yeah. There's going to be a million guys with a million different stories and interpretations. But if it feels anything like it feels to me, then nobody likes that feeling. Right. If we could have it our way, every girl would like us. Every time we walked over to the girl, she'd go, "Oh my God, you're amazing too. Wow, you're hot too. Yeah, let's go on a date," right? That would be ideal. That's like movie scene kind of level, right? You see that in the movies with the main character who can't get rejected because he's the fucking main character and the plot was written, right? It was written. It's not reality. It was written. Yeah. So or the novel, right? It was written. So we're thinking, man, I wish I could be that person. And this is the best part too. Guys will see me actually get success, right? Guys will see me walk over to the girl. She'll crack open. We're all of a sudden we're laughing after I said, "You're so hot." Oh my God. Now we're just laughing, having a great time. Now, 3 minutes later, she's typing her phone number into my phone. Now we're hugging. Now we're going, all right, so we're going to meet at this venue, blah, blah, blah. They'll witness this and they will incorrectly associate that with the movie star kind of a lifestyle. They'll incorrectly think that my life looks like only this. They'll think, they'll see this channel and they'll think, "Oh, wow, so Ephraim doesn't get rejected. Ephraim can just do this effortlessly. And if I watch Ephraim's content, then I too will be able to never get rejected." It's not even about mitigating or getting rid of rejection because you can't. Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse. Yeah, the curse is that it's always going to suck. It's always going to hurt. But the blessing is that it's an extreme version of personal development. Yeah, it's like the thick skin that I've developed through building this skill set and now putting this skill set on the internet for everybody to judge me. It's like none other. Yeah, it's indescribable. It's almost like it's just so hard to shake me now. So hard to shake me. It's so hard to offend me. It's so hard to get me mad because it's like, look what I can fucking do. Yeah, look at this. Look what I've overcome in order to create this dating life for myself. Do I really care if that guy who passed by me with his girlfriend gave me a dirty look? Do I really care if that person on the train is trying to press me and trying to see, oh, who's gonna back down? Who's gonna be a bitch? Oh, blah blah blah. Do I really care? Like at this point in my life, I more or less avoid conflict at all costs. Because what good is it to me, anyways? Yeah, I don't mean avoid conflict in like at work, people are asking questions that are kind of conflicting in order to make the sale. Is no, I just mean like if somebody's giving me a dirty look, if somebody's honking at me on the road, if somebody wants to try to fight me, which never happens, but if they ever wanted to fight me, right, it's like I can just lower my ego and go, "Yeah, you win, bro. You win. Yep, you're stronger than me. You're bigger than me. You're cooler than me. Yep, I'm more of a bitch. Whatever. You win. Sure." Yeah, and this is great because some guys could hear that and they would go, "I would never. Oh, if anybody ever tried to test me as a man, I would have to stand my ground, stand up for myself, fight them to the death, this and that," right? It's all ego talking. Yeah. It's all ego talking because what is that going to prove for me anyways? Yeah, there's so many weird byproducts of being really good at this skill set. One of them is I just stopped giving a fuck what people thought about me. Yeah, like think about that. That's a big reason why people get into fights is because they're worried about looking like a weak person to other people. They don't really give if it was just them two in a room, they'd probably start, almost get into the skirmish and then go, "Okay, what are we doing?" And then talk it out, right? "Oh, neither of us want a fucking broken jaw. All right, let's talk it out." But as soon as you add people into the mix, spectators, as soon as the guy's girlfriend is there watching him and they're at the bar, now they got to fight, right? Because they're so fucking worried about what everybody thinks of them. That is what stops guys from not getting results, ever going in for their own approach. That right there is what stopped that is the sticking point. Yeah, a big reason for me why or a big sticking point for me back in Warsaw with Christian. I told Christian, "Dude, I'm actually not as scared of rejection as I am scared of people listening to me walk over to the girl and get rejected." Yeah, it's not even that I'm like, yeah, it sucks that the girl's not interested in me, but that doesn't scare me as much as the people that are around me listening to me get rejected and then judging me about the rejection, right? Or just perceiving me in general, just being able to hear the conversation in general. That scared me more than just getting rejected by the girl flat out with nobody around. And so what that tells me is, and I'm not here to speak for humanity, I'm speaking for myself. But I think that I'll use we. Yeah, I think a lot of what we're scared of is just judgment, and a lot of that fear has come through growing up in a society where we have been told to keep our heads down. Yeah, don't stick too far out of the crowd because judgment comes with that, right? You think about any renegade, any legend, right? Any rock and roll legends. You think about uh, revolutionaries, yeah, the Bob Marley types. We love these people, but think about their day to day. Their day to day was sticking their head far out of the crowd. In fact, they were walking against the crowd. While everybody was going this way, they were going this way. Yeah. And think about how much judgment they were going through on a daily basis. Yet they're the people we look at and we go, that's the legend. Wow, that guy's sick. Oh my God, that guy's amazing. Right. I'm just using like music stars in this case, but just in any space, right? Political figures, and recognize also that it's all opinionated anyways, right? It's like the masses will cling to an opinion, and anybody who opposes that opinion isn't necessarily wrong. They're just different. Yeah. And so it's easy to judge somebody as a group than to stick yourself out of the group and be judged. Right. That the reason I'm bringing all this up, this is what we're doing. Think about it. Yeah. The group, the masses, they're telling you to stick to Tinder. Do you know how much my life would suck if I stuck to Tinder and Bumble and Hinge and fucking Instagram? Do you know how miserable my life would be today if up until this point in my life, all I did was rely on dating apps? It would be atrocious, not only because I barely ever got results on dating apps, but because the results I did get on dating apps were girls that I was sometimes attracted to, but most of the time it was just like, oh, finally I got a female in front of me. Let's just release the testosterone and keep pushing with my life and never see the girl again, right? Versus like you think about the women that I'm meeting through this skill set, the girl is catching my eye in person. I'm already seeing all of her right here in front of me. Yeah. And then I'm walking over, already confirming in my mind that I like her. Yeah. And I'm in the conversation. Sometimes we're not compatible and she's hot, but I don't like her attitude, or I don't like her personality or lack of personality, or I don't like how socially awkward she is. She's hot, but she's socially awkward, right? And then I get to decide whether or not I want to go on the date, right? Then I get to, actually, you're cute, but I'm not going to take you out. I wouldn't say that to her, right? But I would just be like, all right, it was nice meeting you. Have a nice one. And then I keep pushing, right? I wouldn't even ask for her number in that case. The skill set it's life changing. So back to the answer, yeah. So how I deal with rejection, we're still on the maternal portion here. I don't really deal with it. Yeah. I just accept that I guess that's a good way to put it. I don't really deal with it, right? There's not really a way to like facilitate it, to manage it, to like push it to the back of your brain and pretend it's not there. You kind of just accept it. Yeah. It's less about dealing and more about accepting. It's just like I wake up, I know not every girl likes me, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. And I just accept that. And that doesn't change how much it stings in the moment when the girl is showing clearly that she's not interested in me. It still stings, don't get me wrong. But I don't let that stop me from walking over to the next girl, because I understand that that's just part of the game. That's just how that's just how this goes. And don't think that it's exclusive to us either, right? Women go through this as well also. And firstly, they're not the ones walking over to the guy anyway, so the rejection that they're going to deal with is a lot more limited than what we are as the hunter archetype, right? As the guy who needs to go out and get the girl, versus the girl is waiting for the guys to come and then picking one, in theory, right? But recognize also, because I think this is a big like mental block for guys, is there's a little bit of envy just to females in general. There's like envy there, because we see it as like, oh my God, their romantic life is so easy. Oh my God, they just get to stand there and look pretty, and then all the guys come to them, and then they pick the guy that they want, and blah blah blah, and their life is so easy. So let's debunk this. Let's debunk this together. All right. Firstly, recognize that their strategy is different than ours. We just want to stick our dick in everything, right? That's how we procreate. We just want to put our dick everywhere and spread the seed, and at least biologically. Yeah, that's tapering down for me quite a bit as I age, but at least 20, 19, 20, 21, 22, that was like front of mind. Stick dick everywhere. Oh my God, as many girls as possible, blah blah blah, right? recognize that it's not the same for them. Yeah, they're not thinking. At least most of them, in my experience, are not thinking, okay, the majority, as many guys as possible for as long as possible, and that is my mating strategy. This and that. Yeah, for what I've noticed. Yeah, again, I can't speak factually on this. I'm not a I'm not licensed. Yeah, I don't have a degree, whatever. But I do have a lot of experience, which is what most guys can't say. So what I have gathered is it's not that they like here's a way to put it. For us, it seems like they have unlimited options because they have unlimited guys to choose from. And if we were in that position where we had 100 Tinder swipes trying to hit us up and fuck that night, right? If we were the girl and that was our reality, right? Oh my, the girl was like, oh please, 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 oh let's hang out tonight, right? Like they get messages like that all the time on the dating apps, right? We would love that because for us, that's exactly what we're looking for is like an inundation of women that we can just select from. And that would be like our ideal. Yeah, that girl's hot. All right, that girl for Tuesday. Yeah, maybe Friday, I'll pick that girl. And that would be great for us, right? In theory. But recognize that what I have learned is that's not they don't feel like they're flooded with options just because they've got 100 guys lining up wanting to fuck them. They already know that all these guys want to fuck them simply because they have a vagina, simply because they're hot enough and they have a vagina. And of course, to different guys, they're going to be hotter in their eyes to other guys, right? Like, like a guy that hasn't gotten laid in 5 years, you could put a behemoth, you could put a humpback whale in front of the guy, and he'd be like, "Yeah, she's hot," right? And then I'd look at her and I'd go, "Oh, oh," right? So it's like, of course, it's going to be subjective, but my point is, I can't see life through a woman's eyes. But from what I have gathered, it seems like they don't see that as unlimited options. When they see 100 guys or 100 Tinder swipes in front of them, they're looking through them and they're going, "Ew, not this guy. Ew, this guy looks weird. Ew, this guy is needy. Ew, this guy texted me weirdly." They don't see the guys that they're saying no to, they don't see them as options. They see them as kind of like annoyances. They're like, where is the guy that I want? Yeah, where are the guys that I actually want? Why is it a bunch of fucking, oh, this guy has a mirror selfie flexing in the mirror. Oh, this guy is looking funny. Oh, this guy has the funniest mullet haircut, blah blah blah. And they're just scrolling through doing that, right? Oh, I'm sure a lot of it is personality based too. Oh, this guy's bio is weird. He says he just wants a one night stand, this and that. And they're sifting through all this dirt to find the gold being the guy that they actually are interested in. And maybe they don't even know exactly what that guy is going to look like, sound like, speak like, act like, whatever, but they'll feel it, right? They'll feel it. So a lot of what we might see is like, oh my, these girls, this life is so easy for them and so hard for us romantically because they have a million guys wanting to do this, and this with them. Yeah, but recognize that they don't want to get fucked by all of these random guys that are trying to in their Tinder DMs, blah blah blah. Oh, please let me smash, girl. Oh, you're hot. Let me smash, girl. They don't want any of that shit, right? They're looking for the guy that actually turns them on, which to be fair is actually somewhat few and far between. Yeah, if we're talking about like general population, yeah, it's not the highest percentage of guys. And once again, I'm not talking about Mr. Chad, Looks Max, Money Max, Gym Max, blah blah blah, because once again, I don't fit into that category in the slightest. 5'9". Last time I got weighed was 2 days ago at the doctor's, 137 pounds, and I had my fanny pack on too, which probably added a pound or two. So I'm more like 135, back to my high school weight, and I'm still 5'9". Yeah, I stopped growing when I was like 14 years old. There you go. I'm not Mr. Chad status, oh my God, but I'm able to get results with women in this manner. Yeah. So understand that I'm not talking when I say small percentage of the population, I'm not talking must be top 10%, must be. I just mean the small percentage of the population that actually turns that girl on in particular because of whatever reason. Yeah, the girls that like me, maybe they like me because of my exotic look, the curls, the whatever. Maybe they like me because of the edgy nose ring. Yeah, I've had girls tell me, yeah, I like the nose ring. Not a lot of guys will rock a nose ring, blah, blah, blah. This is not me telling you to go get a nose ring. This is just my style. Yeah. And this attracts the women that are attracted to this style. Yeah. There are going to be women that are attracted to just how you look just right now and just how you act and just how you behave. And you can kind of widen that horizon, right? Kind of like widening your range on a dating app. You can widen that by improving yourself holistically, right? Which is where I think the red pill does fit in, right? That's where I believe all the red pill dogma in theory does fit in. is I'm telling you, there's already girls that like you as is right now. And if you want to widen that net of women that like you and potentially actually want to come back with you, yada, 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 you can widen that by improving your life holistically. Yeah. People's I'm on self-improvement. That just seems like human development to me. Yeah. It's like they're pretending like they discovered this new slice of humanity. Oh my God, I discovered this thing to get me girls. It's called self-improvement. I've got to do this. That's just no. I mean, that is just normal, right? You look at any animal in the fucking animal kingdom. Yeah, they grow up, they drink their mother's milk, then they move on to hunting animals, other smaller animals, and they eat. They get stronger, and they challenge. Sometimes they challenge their dad or the other guys in the pack, right? The other males in the pack, and that's just fucking animal development. Yeah, that's now our version of that is more mental. Yeah, it's more psychological because we're the intellectual species, right? So a lot of it for us is sharpening the social skills. Yeah, maybe back in the caveman days, it was all about biggest biceps, biggest muscles, who can beat the other guy up more, so I could protect the pack, whatever. But nowadays, it's a lot more psychological. Now it's a lot more financial, right? It's like, okay, the nerd can have an amazing lifestyle because he's hunkered down while we're doing our best to watch all this content. He's hunkered down building a fucking software company that explodes. Now he's got all the money, he's got a yacht. And now the girls are wanting to come out on the yacht and shit, right? So it's no longer about who has the biggest muscles. That's why and I think it's great. It's such a great equalizer. And that's what I mean. Cold approach is such a fucking equalizer. It's no longer about who's the biggest and the strongest. That's like a lot of the guys, and we'll continue on with the main theme of the live stream soon. But a lot of the guys in this world that could beat me up, which is probably most of them. Yeah, I'm not a very physically imposing guy. I don't know how to fight. Yeah, I weigh as much as a medium-sized girl. No joke, 135, right? It's like I'm not a big threat. Yeah, a big physical threat. Yet a lot of these guys that spend hours a day, weeks and years at a time honing in their bicep circumference, yeah, trying to get that as large as possible. What I believe that they're missing, if they're, of course, if they're in this space also, then that's a bonus, right? But if they're completely unaware to like what it actually takes as far as courage and as far as boldness and behavior to attract the woman, then they're kind of like they're cutting down the wrong tree, right? They're kind of still living in caveman day. They're thinking, okay, well, if I get big enough biceps, I'll widen the net a little bit, right? I'll widen the horizon a little bit. But a lot of them are still behaving very needy. They're still behaving like the scrawny 18-year-old kid that they once were that got no girls and probably still don't. Yeah, now every now and then they get a girl who just is goo goo gaga over their triceps, over their quad strength. But it's like, even then, they a lot of times I'm sure they'll fuck that relationship up too, because they just don't know what they're doing. They don't know what to look for. They don't know how to select a girl. They're probably not selecting a girl. They're just hoping somebody swipes right on their jacked mirror selfie on Tinder, and then they'll find that girl, and then they'll make that girl their girlfriend. They're not selecting shit. They're being selected, right? And then you got guys like me, the scrawny average height guy, nothing super special about him. The one thing that I absolutely maxed out, and I'm still maxing out day in and day out, is social skills, right? My effective communication, my way to package an idea in a fun, digestible way. Yeah, my ability to use my voice to actually make you want to listen to me, right? Versus like, there's people that are socially awkward. They kind of talk like they're depressed. They sound like they're going to jump off a bridge at any moment. Yeah, there's no inflection in their voice, and they go, "Yeah, girls don't like me. Yeah, fucking, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, right." It's like versus like actually having oomph, right? Having some substance in your voice. That once again, that in itself is a skill. This is just how I talk naturally now, but it wasn't always how I talked, right? Once sales, right? I learned this shit. I just see a lot of people chopping down the wrong tree, right? They're trying to get their eyebrows threaded because they think that that's going to get them the girl, and they're not going directly to the source. Yeah, the source of the problem, the reason why you're having trouble is because you are too scared to make the move. You're too scared to initiate the relationship with the girl. And so that's why everybody, just like me, just like I used to do, we try to knock down every accessory area of our life of our lives thinking, well, I don't want to do the scary thing, which is walk over to the girl, but maybe if I get my eyebrows threaded, maybe if I grow a beard and I get a nose ring, or maybe if I get this sick haircut that this guy's telling me I need to get, maybe if I wear this certain clothes, maybe if I go to this certain venue at this certain time, maybe if I try this Tinder hack where I open the app, close the app, force quit open, and then set my settings to I have this friend that lives in North Beach, right? He goes, dude, I found this Hinge hack, man. Dude, you got to get on Hinge. I'm telling you, this is the hack. All right. You set your radius to like 1 mile, and then you set your age limit to like 70 to 75 years old. And then all of a sudden, all of the hot girls show up. Right. And he's telling me about all these, he's trying to maximize his I guess there was some glitch, right, where he put his age range to 70 to 75 or whatever, the max range. And then all of a sudden, all the hot 22-year-old girls would pop up and you'd be swiping and shit. And I'm just thinking, God, it's funny the lengths that we go through. Like, what is that guy saying to me? Basically, he's saying, yeah, I'm looking for a hot girl and I'm doing whatever I can to find that girl, except for just walking over to that girl. So what am I going to do? I'm going to watch a YouTube video on how to maximize the range or to how to have the hottest girls pop up, right? Oh, I'm going to go to the gym and try to gym max. Oh my God, I'm going to do this and that. But they're never tackling the source. Yeah. And so then you get to a place, right? We see executives who still pay for hookers, right? You get to this place where you got all the money, you got the gym max body, you got the fucking BMW G3 or whatever it is, M3, right? You got all this stuff. Oh, you're this financial guy. Oh, you're this accountant making 110,000, driving the M3. Yeah. Dressing all spiffy and stuff. Maybe you got some muscles to you. And then you're sitting in your M3, you're looking around and you're wondering, where are the girls? I swear they told me that if I did all this and I checked all these boxes, all of a sudden, Hottie from Australia would be sitting right here next to me in passenger seat. But I'm still trying to find her on Bumble, right? That's what I'm saying. They're not attacking the source. The source is the inadequacy that we feel within ourselves that is stopping us from initiating the relationship like a fucking man. Like a proper man. It's sad that I even have to say this because 50 years ago, before the internet, this was commonplace. This is how people met. I met the Venezuelan girl while I was in a grocery store. This is commonplace. This is normal human behavior prior to the age of the internet, age of technology. This is normal human behavior. Yeah. People, that's what I mean is they'll look at me and they'll think, oh my God, this guy is so bold walking over to a girl like this. Wow. I'll go on dates and girls will tell me I've never been approached by a guy in person. I have never been approached by a guy on the sidewalk, this and that. I have never been. And I'm just sitting there thinking, how have we gotten to this fucking point? Yeah, they're telling me all they use is Hinge. Yeah, I find my dates on Hinge. And they think that I'm weird, right? I'm getting the questions. How many girls do you approach? Oh my God, do you always walk over to girls like this? Oh my God, are you doing this? Oh wow, this, bro. What is the difference between me walking over like a man and me sitting on my ass on that bed back there and just swiping? What's the difference? I'm after the same results. In either case, I'm trying to get my dick wet. In either case, yeah, it's just one method is far more effective and takes far more courage and far bigger balls. One method takes far bigger balls than the other. One is very easy. Yeah, one is sitting back, swiping, and then you wonder why you don't get the results. Yeah. You're paying a very small price. No wonder the result is very tiny, which is probably zero for you, just like it was for me. Yeah, one girl every 7 months when I get lucky and they swipe back on me, right? Versus you pay a big price, right? You pay a big psychological, emotional price with this, yeah, with gathering the courage that it takes to walk over to her like a man. And what do you know? The result is 10-fold, 20-fold, 30-fold. What do you know? What do you know? All of a sudden, dating life explodes. Same guy, same nose ring, same beard, same fucking haircut, same body type, 135. I weigh 135 pounds. Same height, I'm 5'9". Nothing special, nothing changed. What changed was the vehicle. Yeah. What changed was the means by which I was meeting the girl. It's no longer passive. The means are no longer passive. I'm taking a very active approach. And the amazing byproduct of me taking an active approach is all of these other areas of my life have exploded also. Yeah, I walk around like I'm a fucking social weapon now. And the best part is I barely even have to use it. Yeah, I barely ever even have to break out the social skills, but when I need them, I can take over the room, right? I can captivate the room. I'm at work. If I really needed to, I can close the deal, right? I can close the sale. Yeah, I can help my coworkers oftentimes explain things, and I explain them very thoroughly. And what do you know? You learn cold approach, all of a sudden you're top sales performer at your job. What do you know? Yeah. All right, I know we tangented. We got boys in the chat. What up, boys? Oh, about this. What up, man? So we're gonna get back on track here. The how do I deal with rejection? That was a long, like 20-minute tangent. So all right, so we're back on the rejection topic. Yeah, how do I deal with rejection? So that whole first half was basically my long-winded maternal leaning answer, which is I don't deal with it. I kind of just accept it. Yeah, I understand that it's part of the game, and I'm not a robot who doesn't feel anything when I get rejected. Yeah, I feel it just as much as the next guy. So the more masculine answer, yeah, the more get off your ass kind of an answer is recognize that approaching the girl is just like sales. So the first thing is the girl doesn't owe you anything. All right. So as much as it sucks when you get rejected, that girl that just rejected you, even though you think, oh, she should have at least said something. Oh, she should have at least acknowledged my compliment. Oh, she should have at least, she doesn't know you shit. She doesn't know you a goddamn thing. She doesn't know you just like you don't know her. Yeah. She doesn't know you. You're not her family. You're not her friend. You're just a stranger. She doesn't owe you shit. Yeah. So we have to get rid of this kind of this feeling of entitlement. Oh, I feel like I'm entitled to a good reaction because I did a bold act. No, you're not entitled to shit. Yeah, you walked over on your own accord. Nobody forced you to do that. So you have to be okay with whatever result comes with that. You don't get to decide what result comes with that. Yeah. So that's first part of that answer. Second part is, like I mentioned, this is sales. Yeah. So I don't mean sales in that I have a fucking script that I'm reading off of. Oh, hi. Yeah, this is Ephraim from so and so company. Would you be interested in my product? I don't mean that sales. I mean sales mentality, in that when I am at work and I tour a guest around an apartment and they don't lease the apartment and they say, actually, I'm going to go with this other apartment, I remove them from my mind immediately. They are no longer a concern of mine. Why is that? Because they're not the person that's going to be paying me the commission. So why would I care? Why would I stew over that? Why would I go, oh, yeah, but like I spent 40 minutes showing them apartments. Like they should at least sign on the dotted line. They should at least give me half commission, right? No, no, they shouldn't. Just like, right, just like I was talking about cold approach. They don't owe me shit. Yeah, I'm providing a service. I'm here to show the apartment. And if they like the apartment, that's when I get paid. And if they don't like the apartment, that's how it goes, right? Instead, what I'm focused on are the people that actually want the apartment. So when somebody says, actually, I don't like this one, I'm going to go with the one across the street, I go, yeah, for sure. All right, good luck with things. And then as soon as the next person walks in the door, my next tour, same bright smile, same welcoming greeting when they walk in. Give them the same, oh, hi, welcome to blank apartments, right? Welcome to so-and-so. My name's Ephraim. Are you here for a tour? You're here for a tour? Oh, nice. What's your name? Johnny. Yeah. What time's your tour at? Let's see. 3 p.m. Okay, let me check. Oh, it's with me. Oh, what do you know? Johnny. Cool. I'll be helping you out. Look, have a seat. I'll just be 2 minutes. I'm finishing up some paperwork here. Feel free. Look, we have coffee. We got snacks right there. Make yourself comfortable. I'll be there. Just give me 2 minutes. All right. 2 minutes. Yeah. Already they're feeling like, wow, I walked into this fancy office. I was greeted like a human, right? How many times you walk into a workplace, think DMV, right? Think government-owned buildings. You walk into the place, they look mad to see you. Do you know how often that happens? You walk into a grocery store, the guy's having a bad day. He looks upset that you're there spending money at that establishment. They look mad to see you, right? That's not fucking the correct energy when you're in sales, obviously, right? You're in sales, you want the people to want to be there and want to feel wanted. And so that's why you give them the great greet. Oh, yeah, I'm Ephraim. Tour is going to be with me. Oh, sick. All right, I'll show you around. Yeah, just have a seat, right? Same, it's one-to-one, right? So what do I mean? That person that didn't want the apartment just walked out. That new person just walked in, and I gave them the same 10 out of 10 customer service because it's a blank slate. They don't know about the person that just walked out. They don't know how many people have told me they don't want the apartment. They don't want to live here. They don't know, and they simply don't care. right? They don't even care. So same thing applies here. Yeah, you walk over to the girl. Yeah, now we're talking about, right, how I deal with rejection. Walk over to the girl, she doesn't like you. She walks off into the distance. You feel shitty for 3 to 60 seconds and you're like, "Oh my god, this sucks. Is there something in my teeth, blah blah blah." The next girl you walk over to, you need to walk over to her with the same amount of enthusiasm as when the girl just rejected you prior. You need to walk over with the same enthusiasm, the same bright, genuine smile on your face, the same welcoming, bold, but not aggressive, not pushy energy. Yeah. Yeah. You need to stop her with the same ferocity. Yeah. You're walking in front of her. You're not going to be meekly. Okay. The last girl walked away. So I'm just going to stop this girl half from the side and my voice will be a little softer. And yeah, oh, she didn't like me. Yeah, she was. No shit. Yeah, you didn't even give yourself a chance. Yeah, you were so hung up on the girl that didn't like you that the finally one that walked that could have possibly liked you was in front of you, but you didn't give it a shot. Yeah, you shot yourself in the leg before you even started because you were so hung up on the previous girl that no shit, you're gonna get rejected again. No shit, it's gonna snowball into 6 rejections in a fucking row. Yeah, you're doing this to yourself. Yeah, once again, this is my paternal side of the answer. All right, so this is why I'm gonna be getting fired up at you, masculine side. All right, no fucking shit, you're getting rejected back to back to back. It's because you're so in your head about what's wrong with me, what's wrong with that last girl, what's wrong with my smell, oh, do I look funny, oh, this and that. You didn't even give that new girl a proper opportunity to meet you. Yeah, this is what I mean. Think back to this leasing example that I gave you. Soon as the next customer walks in, it doesn't matter if I was on 6 tours that day, none of them leased the apartment. The 7th person might. So when they walk in, same bright smile, same welcoming energy, same, oh, please look, we got snacks right there, coffee, please, I'll be right with you. Make yourself comfortable. And what do you know? Oftentimes that person ends up taking the fucking apartment. Yeah. Thank God I gave them a proper welcome. Thank God I gave them a proper opportunity to see the apartment. Thank God I gave her a proper opportunity to meet me when I walked over to her. You see the fucking parallels. Yeah. It's every approach is independent of the previous and the subsequent approach. They do not interconnect in any way whatsoever, aside from how you make them interconnect. You are the only common thread among all of these approaches. Think about it. They don't know about each other. They don't know about each other. They didn't see you walk over to the last girl. They are not going to see you walk over to the next girl. They don't know and they don't care. Even when the girl asks me, oh, do you walk over to the girls all the time? This is how I get my dates. They don't care. Yeah. All that matters, all that should be mattering to you is making sure that each and every time you walk over to the girl, you bring your full self into that approach, your full self. And this is why coaching is, in my opinion, coaching is almost necessary. I would not have this channel and this platform if I didn't spend time in Warsaw with Christian, getting properly coached by him. Yeah. I would have been banging my head against a table this entire time because what I thought were proper approaches would have been half-assed approaches. And he would have helped me identify them if I had been coached by him. Thank God I was coached by him, right? Do you see? So this is one answer that I added to my answer yesterday to the guy who asked me this question, right? How do I deal with rejection? Is you may have gone in for 1, 2, 300 approaches by this point. And you may think that, in your head, you might be thinking, why am I not getting a similar result? Ephraim says you don't need to be money maxed, gym maxed, this maxed, that maxed, and you can still get a result with this. Why is it that he's getting a result and I'm not? And so then you're going to start rationalizing. You're going to go, oh, it's because he's better looking than me. Oh, it's because he's an 8 and I'm a 7.5, right? You're going to say some shit like that. Oh, it's because he has a full beard and I can't grow a beard. You're going to say, oh, it's because he has an edgy nose ring and I don't have a nose ring, right? You're going to start rationalizing. Yet we've got plenty of examples of every fucking kind of person you can imagine in the entourage. Yeah. Every guy. We got the bald guy. We got the head full of hair guy. We got the nose ring guy. We got the clean cut guy. No beard, right? No piercings. Tattoos everywhere. Tattoos nowhere. It doesn't fucking matter. It's not nearly as much about how you look as you think it is. Obviously, it's important, which is why we don't have an obese guy in the entourage, I don't think, at least. No obese guys, because the guy that can't take care of himself certainly is not going to take this seriously. The guy that can't even look after his own health, he's not going to take this shit. He's not going to learn this skill set seriously. Yeah, he can't put the fucking candy bar down. He's not going to walk over to the girl full balls anyways. Or maybe he is. I don't mean to judge. Maybe he is. But less likely, I guess, is the point, right? But we've got every kind of fucking guy you can imagine in the entourage from every corner of the globe, yeah, that look nothing like me. It's not about what I look like. I promise you. This is such a small percentage of why I get the result. Yeah. So this is what I mean. You might be going into 100, 200, 300 fucking approaches at this point, and you're getting no results. You haven't got a single date, and you're wondering why cold approach doesn't work. Oh, this must be fake. Oh, Ephraim must be hiring actresses. Oh, those date breakdowns must be hookers. Yada yada yada. Right? You're gonna rationalize. Yeah. But this is the answer that I gave him. I said, realize that every approach that you have done thus far is your interpretation of my approach. It's not my approach. It's your interpretation of my approach. So, first of all, I applaud you for going in for however many approaches that you have in your life. If you've done one, you have my respect. That's not easy. All right. But just because you're walking over to a girl and trying, maybe you're saying similar things to what I'm saying and you're doing your best to emulate what I'm doing, just because you're trying to do that doesn't mean you're actually doing it. Yeah. You could be 90 miles off the mark, but you don't even know it because you're watching my videos, you're watching my infield, you're listening to my live streams, and you go out and you try to apply it, but you're living life in the first person. You don't see what you're doing wrong. But if you go up to 300 girls and none of them like you, I guarantee you're doing something wrong. I guarantee you're doing something wrong. That shouldn't happen. Yeah, that should not happen. There are things that you are probably doing in your approach that you are not aware of, and you can't possibly be aware of them because you don't have a video fucking recording of yourself. You don't have a coach live and in person watching what you're doing and then telling you, hey, look, this is where you're missing the mark. And I guarantee you it's a bunch of places. It's not just one sticking point. There's probably a million sticking points, but you can't see them, right? When I was being coached by Christian, I couldn't see what I was doing wrong. I remember day one of my immersion when I was measly walking over to the girls. And, in nowadays, I can look back and see what I was doing wrong. But in the moment, I couldn't tell the difference between what I was doing and what Christian was doing in the infields that I watched that made me reach out to him to get coached. I couldn't tell the difference. I thought it was an approach, right? I walked over to the girl. I said something. That's an approach, right? But if I was to watch he actually has film of me doing some of these. When I watched myself on camera, I would walk over to the girl half-heartedly, right? I would kind of stop the girl, right? I would kind of go, excuse me, just 1 second. Oh no, okay, bye, have a good day, right? I would kind of walk, I would kind of get in front of the girl. When I was finally able to stop the girl firmly, I would kind of give the compliment. Hi, yeah, you look beautiful. Yeah. So what are you up to? Yeah. Maybe I would have this giddy energy. I would be over laughing at all of her fucking jokes. Anytime she said something 1% funny, I'd go, yeah, that's Versus if a guy said the same thing, I would just be straight faced. Guy said the same thing, I'd just be, oh, for sure. The girl, pretty girl said it. I'm There's a million fucking things that I guarantee you are doing that you think, oh, I'm doing the same approach as Ephraim. Why am I not getting Ephraim's result? This is why coaching is important. All right. This is why I highly encourage you to reach out to somebody. It doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be Christian, but you do need to have somebody that is going to be real with you. Yeah. Not your buddy that you're learning this with. You're oh yeah, you're doing so good, guy. Yeah, good. Nah, you need somebody who's going to give you God honest advice. That's why you will pay a coach. Yeah. You're going to feel the pain. You're going to feel the sting of handing over your dollars to a coach. And in return, what you are going to get is God honest feedback and guidance on how to do this properly. If you've done 300 approaches up until this point, you have done 0 of my approaches because you have not had me watch you do them and give you feedback on what you are doing wrong, where you are coming up short. Yeah, there are a million. That's what I mean. Like this, it comes down to just the tiniest details. I'll be watching you and I'll go, I can tell you weren't looking her in the eye most of the time, or I can tell you your body was kind of diagonal when you were talking to her. You were kind of giving the impression that you were 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Yeah, but you couldn't see that because you were so worried about what you were going to say next. You were thinking about what should I say next? Oh my God, is it going good? Oh my God. Yeah, and I'm sitting back watching going, okay, good job for going in, but here's where you're missing it. Yeah, here's where you're missing the mark. You're standing awkwardly. You walked over to her in a half-hearted way. When you got in front of her, you almost let her go, and then she stopped, and then now she's like turning back. Her body's kind of turning back to talk to you. Like there are so many little sticking points that you cannot possibly be aware of. So as you see, this is why I give my content out for free, just so you boys know. Yeah. I do my best to help you as much as I can over the internet, but I'm very well aware that you're not going to get my results without actually being coached by me. Yeah. Same thing. You want Christian's results, you want to be coached by Christian. And it's kind of like it's similar. It's pretty much the same thing at this point because I have very similar results, but not nearly as good as Christian because Christian's been doing this for a lot longer than me. So it makes sense that he's going to be charging a much higher price for coaching, right? And he's going to be coaching much higher caliber guys that already have fucking solid skills in pretty much everything. Now all they're missing is the proper approach and the proper guidance, right? It makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Versus you see the results of some other creator and you try to hire that creator and you're hoping for the result. I mean, like, I guess what I'm saying is you should probably be expecting the result that creator gets. You see what I'm saying? Because they're going to teach you their method, their skill set, whatever, which I'm sure is great as well. Yeah. But all this to say, you might think that you're doing a lot of what I'm doing, but I promise you, you're not. I promise you that there's so many blind spots in your approach that you can't even see. That for me, it just takes care of itself because I've practiced it so much. Yeah, I've consciously practiced so many areas of my approach, start to finish. I mean, at this point, from approaching to actually bringing her on a date to actually taking her back to my spot, I've gone through so many of these cycles with so many different girls now that it's like second nature. Yeah, that's why you can watch my infields and it looks effortless, right? You watch it and you think, how is this guy doing it? What the how is he walking over to two twins on the fucking street corner while everybody's around? And how is he actually getting a conversation going? How is he doing this and how is he doing that? And of course, I love to keep my rejections in there as well. Yeah, just to share with you boys that I expect to be rejected. I expect it. This is just a part of how this goes. Not every girl's going to like me. But you'll see in pretty much all of these infield approaches, I'd say 9 times out of 10, the girl stops for me and at least says something to me, right? So like the guy who asked me this question that this live stream is about, a lot of his posts are like, yeah, I walked over to the girl, I said something to the girl, and then she said thanks and looked back down at her phone. Or she said she didn't say anything or this and that. I barely ever get that. All right. I barely ever get the girl being like not giving me anything these days. At the very minimum, usually there is some sort of a thank you or oh, I appreciate that, but right. Usually like that's probably most common in most of my approaches is if the girl is not interested in me, she rarely ever just completely walks off or completely ignores me and doesn't say anything or doesn't acknowledge me. And the reason why is because I get in front of her with such boldness that she has no choice but to, at the very least, acknowledge me. Yeah. And in a lot of those conversations, what starts out is like, oh, thank you. And she seems nervous. She realizes how easygoing I am and how laid back I am and how welcoming and inviting I am, right? And non-aggressive, right? And something about that energy she likes and she sticks around and she talks. And then what do you know? Sometimes we end up going on the fucking date. Yeah. That same girl you went up to, you tried to approach, but it was a little bit weaker. You walked over a little less bold, right? You were a little no shit. It's going to be a different result. All right. So, anyways, let's go through some of these comments. Been yapping for an hour. Mo says, I always take rejection seriously and think there's something wrong with me. It's probably because I'm not approaching enough girls. Yeah, I'd say that. And then what I just talked about for the last 20 minutes is you're probably not approaching girls how I approach girls. Yeah, you're doing your best to mirror what I'm doing, but you can't possibly know if you're actually accurately mirroring what my approach looks like without me seeing you approach and go, okay, yeah, you're doing decent, but you're missing this, but you're missing that, but you're falling short here. Do you see what I'm saying? All right, Cameron says, I respect the grind, brother. Keep going. Balth is in the chat. What up, Balthus? Belgian. Cameron Knight, great point, because in actuality, whether you had 4 successful ones before or 4 rejections, you start from point 0 in reality. Yeah, exactly. Ish is in the chat. What up, Ish? What up, Ish? Royal Banana. Ephraim, what's the rudest reaction you've ever had? How did you get over in that moment? Rudest? Rudest would be if the girl doesn't say anything, honestly. To me, that's ruder than anything, is if the girl walks straight past me, which does happen every now and then. Urban's in the chat. Lights in the chat. What up, Urban? What up, Light? Urban says, honestly, at the end of the day, you're right, Ephraim. We all want to get laid, whether we get it from dating apps or approaching. I like both because I treat dating like MMA. Mo says, each to their own. We all should do whatever works for us. Yeah. Urban says, from doing the approaches, I learned your energy goes a long way. You can be good looking and subconsciously come off weird because you don't believe in yourself. I have those moments. Yeah, that's so huge. What Urban just said is so huge. This is why I preach that I don't think gym maxing, looks maxing is the end all be all. You can look like a Egyptian war god. You can look like a Greek god. But if you have weird energy, it does not matter. And pushing the bench press and doing the squats on the squat rack does not do jack shit for your energy. Yeah, for your self-belief. I mean, to be fair, maybe it does a bit for your physical self-belief, right? You like how you look in the mirror. But what I mean is like your social self-belief, your social capability does not change at all by going to the gym religiously and trying to get gym maxed. Now, if that's what you want, if you want to look like Arnold, by all means do it. Don't let me stop you. Yeah, don't let the fucking scrawny streamers stop you. By all means, go for it. But you would be silly to think that that alone is going to get you to this level of a dating life. You would be silly because every rep that you've been putting in on the bench press and shit, I've been putting in out in the streets, yeah, in the grocery stores, on the sidewalk. Do you see what I'm saying? Those are where my reps are going. So no shit, I'm very capable at that. And no shit, I get a sick result I was going to say as a result. I get a sick result as a result. No shit though, because this is where I'm putting in my reps. It would be weird if I was walking over to girls consistently and then all of a sudden I was jacked and I had a bunch of big biceps and stuff. That wouldn't make sense, right? That's a great way to put it. Think about that. Yeah, think about this. Guys are wondering why the gym maxing blah 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 is not getting them the girl that they thought. The BMW M3 that they just bought is not getting them the hot girl in the passenger seat. Think about it. All the reps that they were putting into their work, all the reps that they were putting into making their money, all the reps that they were putting in at the gym to getting gym maxed, those reps they were putting in there, my reps I was putting in on the sidewalk. It would be weird if I was walking over a bunch of girls and then all of a sudden I had $800,000 in my bank account. That wouldn't make sense. It would be weird if I was walking over to a bunch of girls and then all of a sudden I looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I looked like a bodybuilder. That wouldn't make sense. Yeah, because they're chopping down the wrong tree. Yeah, and I'm not saying don't make money. That's exactly what I've been trying to do. I'm not saying don't get jacked. I go to the gym consistently as well. I'm saying they're using these areas as a vehicle to try to get to my dating life results. Yeah. Half the time they don't even want the fucking BMW. They just want the hot girl. And they were told that you need a nice car to get the hot girl. Half the time they don't even want to be a huge fucking bodybuilder. They just were told that you need to be gym max to get the hot girl. Those are the guys I'm referring to, right? Not the guys who are actually trying to chase bodybuilder medals because that's their passion. I'm talking about guys who go to the gym religiously because and they solely go to the gym because they thought that was going to get them girls. They solely chase after this dragon called money, and they're building all this they're trying to build all this wealth, and they never even wanted to be a fucking software software company owner, right? Whatever. They never even wanted that. They never wanted to be a software company CEO. They were just trying to get the girl. Yeah. And they thought, oh, I got to climb up the corporate ladder because I was told that this is going to get me all the girls. If I need status, right? I got to have status in my industry. So I need to climb the ladder, be the CEO. Now they're 40 years old looking around going, where's the hot girl? Yeah. I mean, I got enough money to pay for hookers, but where's the girl that actually wants to be with me without me having to give her anything but myself? Yeah. Because it would be weird if they were putting those reps in those areas, and then all of a sudden they were demigods on the sidewalk walking over to girls getting dates this way. It would be absurd, right? That's what I'm saying. All right. Anyways, boys, thought this was fun. Thought this was a fun stream. Hope you boys enjoyed. I'm gonna get my day started. Got to do some laundry, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Got to do my taxes, and then I'm gonna be Instacarting today to I think I'm stuttering, to make some money. Hey, all right, boys. So I hope you boys enjoyed. This was a fun one. This is a juicy one. I'm off today. I'm off tomorrow. Yeah, it was a heavy week at work, man. Made 2 sales yesterday as well. I think I might have made a third one. We'll see Wednesday if I get if the application comes in, I'll be happy. Oh, happy birthday, Light! Happy birthday's in the chat. Let's go. Got to send one. Happy birthday, man. Hey, enjoy your day. There you go. Here's my present to you. I got a stream just for you, Light. I hope you enjoyed. So, all right, boys. I'm going to call it. Signing off. Going for your approaches. Love you as always.